Lovely stuff. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in from. Welcome back to the Ollie Barrett channel, I guess, for a brand new video. Today, there's not been a video up for about a week, and I do apologize about that. However, I did say that this is going to kind of be an on-the-fly kind of thing, especially to start with. What we're going to be talking about today, do you ask? I've just been thinking about it today because I actually spoke about this on the live show that I just did with my dad this morning. I learned a very valuable lesson at a young age that I feel might be quite unique to my situation. And I say that, well, you'll figure out why I'm saying that. And to some of you, this is going to sound quite trivial, I guess. But I guess it also doesn't really matter how you learn your life lessons. Everyone's going to have their completely different path and different way of getting to these conclusions, or these life lessons, as you will, if you will. When I was about 14, I decided to start up a YouTube channel about making videos about a game that I really enjoyed playing, because I was obsessed with playing this game called Call of Duty when I was younger. And I started making videos as a hobby. There was no money in it back then, it was just as a hobby. And I ended up getting a very good following. When I was about 17 years old, I was making a handsome paycheck. I was in a very fortunate position at a very young age. And I basically reached to I'll give you the context. There was a team, there was a Call of Duty team. There were many teams, but this one team I worked really hard to get into, and I made it into that team. And as a consequence of that, that's where I gained my following. At the peak, I had about 110,000 subscribers on YouTube. I had about 80,000 followers on Twitter. And it was all a bit too good, to be honest. It was all going a bit too well. I had this fire under my belly when I wasn't in this team, because that is where I wanted to be. Shortly after joining, I lost that. I lost that fire. I lost that will to do more. And I got very complacent. And I sat on top. I thought I was on top. I thought, I'm the boss, I'm the king. I don't think I really thought this at the time, but reflecting on it, this is what it kind of seems like I was like. My immature 17-year-old mind was thinking, I've made it to where I want to be. It's the end, it's the finish line. How wrong I was. That was a very silly thing, because I had no idea, and this comes with being immature at 17 and making very good money for such a young age, at such a young age, and not really understanding the value of money as such. So I basically threw it all away. I got complacent and I threw it all away. That kind of stayed with me, to be honest, until that stayed with me forever. I always got a bit of stick at school, and after I kind of gave that up, from people saying, what if you carried on doing this, where would you be? Because a lot of the people who I was teamed with at the time, they went on to go on, a lot of them are millionaires. They're living it up in California in like a team house, and they've got this and that, all material possessions that I'm seeing, but they've come to have a lot of success. And if I'd have stuck with it, you know, I could have been one of those people. But I always told myself, no regrets, no regrets. But I feel like deep down I did have some regrets. Until I feel like I've paid my debt back now. Or I'm currently paying my debt back by doing the YouTube channel with my dad. And we have just hit 100,000 subscribers on there, which is awesome. So as you can imagine, I kind of learned my lesson that once you get to the top, in whatever it is, whatever field you're in, that really is not the finish line. That is not the finish line. As cliche as it is, that is just the start. Because maintaining the top position, or, you know, whatever people's opinion is of what the top is, self-defining top, that's just the start. You've got to maintain that position, and that is a lot harder than getting there, because you're quite likely to lose that fire you had before when you're, you know, making the climb, you know. So I feel like this time I'm much more mature as well, but I feel like that did teach me a very big lesson. And whoa, there's a lot of beeping going on here. I'm gonna have to come back in a second, I think. In my opinion, what you have to do is get addicted to the feedback loop of success, in a way. That can actually go too far though. That can get unhealthy. And you see this with like celebrities quite often. You know, there's a lot of, you know, incredible achievers. You're having a laugh. There's a lot of incredible achievers in the world, you know, the likes of Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Lewis Hamilton, these kind of people, right? That some of them say they're never happy. And this is because they've simply got so addicted to the grind towards success that they're always looking at the next thing. And, you know, that makes you think that the true value of what you're getting is not the end, it's not the finish line, it's the process. You really need to think about how you can enjoy the process. And if you're not enjoying the process, then maybe you need to switch things up a bit, or try to switch things up a bit, because I think people overrate they project that there's going to be a finish line. Oh, when I get this job, I'll be happy. Or when I'm making this much money, I'll be happy. But the reality is, once you reach that so-called finish line, you know, that's the new normal. That is the new normal. I'll just put on my mask here because I'm coming up to the gate, so bear with me. Oh, it's not as easy as I thought it'd be. Yeah, that's the new normal. So you're not happy when you get to that point that you said you were going to. Just testing my temperature. You're not happy once you get to that point that you've set in your mind, because once you've got there, that's your new normal. So you're setting more goals, and yeah, that is great to achieve bigger and better things. However, as I've just mentioned, the big achievers, they can take that too far and never, you know, get the value and the purpose from doing these things. Anyway, that is the lesson I've learned. You know, it'd be great to hear if you guys have had a similar experience in your life that's taught you a similar lesson. I know that I'm now transferring that lesson to my reality now of hitting 100,000 subscribers on the other channel. That is really just the start, and we have so many bigger and better plans for the near future. You know, I'm just excited. It's making me feel purposeful, you know. It's making me feel it's making me feel good. It's making me feel happy that I'm doing it. So yeah, anyway, that's going to bring me to the end of this little chat. I want to get back home now, get something to eat. That is very loud. Anyway, drop a like on this video if you did like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tell you what, they are at one with the car horns here. Anyway, subscribe if you haven't already. We will see you in the next one. Take care for now.